Hey everybody, I'm Mike DeSepoli. Welcome back to the Ask the Advisor show, brought to you by Heritage Financial Advisory Group. So today we're going to talk about how I think we can save the U.S. economy. What we are witnessing right now is levels of intentional economic destruction that we have never seen before in our time, and it's certainly going to take a brave effort to pull the economy out of this slump that we have inadvertently or maybe advertently put it into. What you're seeing right now right in the economy is what we call a demand shock. You have no demand for almost any products, services, or goods except for the necessary household essentials. And the reason for that is these government mandated and imposed lockdowns. What it has done, it has screeched economic activity to a halt, and with the exception of Walmarts and Targets and grocery stores and the like, we're not seeing little to any economic consumption. So how can we save small businesses? How can we get the economy back in motion? And I think there's a couple ways we can do it. The first and most important thing that we need to do is stop labeling businesses as either essential or non-essential. To me, all small businesses are essential, and try telling a small business owner who supports and feeds their family off their small business, try telling them that their business is not essential. I think they'll have a much differing opinion on that. And, we just have to say it. And I'm someone who loves golf, so let me put this out there. If a golf course is considered an essential business, then every business should be considered an essential business. I do not know how the state of New York can make the case that golf courses should be open, but certain service-related businesses serving direct to consumers remain closed. So first and foremost, we need to do away with the labeling of essential versus non-essential businesses and allow businesses to reopen. Now, guys, remember, when businesses are allowed to reopen, no business owner is being forced to reopen their business if they don't want to. So if you're uncomfortable, if you own a business and you are scared, nobody's making you reopen. But we should at least give business owners the opportunity to fight for themselves and the choice to open if they want. Secondly, consumers, customers that is. Nobody's going to force customers to go to a business. So what is the problem with allowing businesses to reopen? If a consumer is not comfortable, guess what? They will not leave their house. That's okay. At least you're allowing business owners to have a fighting chance and to serve the people that do want to leave the house and are eager to get back out there into the economy and spend some money. So what I think ultimately we need to do is start removing all these restrictions and take out the politics out of this coronavirus situation, acknowledge the facts, acknowledge the threats, acknowledge what's dangerous and what isn't, and allow people to return to their normal lives. Now, if you look at some of the models taken by countries overseas, mainly South Korea, because they've had one of the best responses to COVID, as well as the lowest number of infected people and low death rates, and all they did was they identified the vulnerable parts of their population, the young, the elderly, the sick, the immunocompromised. They allowed them to remove themselves from the fray, stay home, quarantine, and allowed the rest of the working population, which is the majority of the U.S. population, to get back to work and be productive. There is a lot of negative effects and consequences that come from these lockdowns and shutdowns, aside from the obvious economic devastation. As you see, 30 plus a million people unemployed and now on unemployment benefits. But the devastation goes far beyond that, and there are many businesses that will never, ever have the ability to reopen if we continue with this lunacy of government-imposed lockdowns. Remember, a quarantine, an actual quarantine, is taking sick people and keeping them away from the general population, not taking all the healthy people and forcing them to stay home. This is not how a quarantine works. Ask anybody who's a medical professional, and they will tell you such. So again, just to summarize today, how can we save the U.S. economy? Number one, we have to allow demand and consumption of goods to pick back up, and the only way we're going to do that is by allowing people to leave their homes and start making their way back out into the economy. So, remove the restrictions, Remove this whole essential versus non-essential labels on businesses. Again, every small business is essential. If it feeds a family, if it puts shelter over somebody's head, that to me is essential. And like I said, as somebody who loves golf, not to pick on it, but if golf is essential, which I think is an absolute joke, but if a golf business is deemed as essential, then there's many others out there that should be deemed essential as well. So we have to get rid of these restrictions. We have to allow the people that are comfortable to make their way back out into the economy. For those of you uncomfortable, fine, take your time, stay home longer if you'd like. But again, we do not need to force everybody to be at home at once. That's not how other countries did it. That's not how South Korea did it. They allowed people to continue to live freely. They actually have better numbers relative to COVID than the United States, where we locked everybody down and put enormous constraints on people, taking away civil liberties and crushing many businesses in the process. So this is how I think that we can jumpstart the rebuilding of America, get the economy open again, allow businesses to make their own choices to deem what is safe for them, their families, and their customers. And again, as customers, guys, we have choice. We don't have to go anywhere we're uncomfortable with, but we should not be mandated to stay home. Thank you so much for watching. We look to see you back next week. And if you have any tips, advice, or comments on this video, we would love to hear from you, so please reach out. Have a great day.